Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You have always scared me a little in a nice way.
A lot of people say that.
Just before we get into talking about what you have coming up this year, let's just give them a little clip from a past show.
Okay,
So
cool.
people can get an idea. This was a little scuffle on the set. Does that happen once in a while, Steve? Okay.
A little bit.
Roll the tape. Here we go.
Let her go! Let her go! Let her go! Let her go! Lock your ass up right now! Yeah? I can't let you go. I can't let you hit her. I can't let you hurt somebody. Come with me. I want to do the show, okay? I want to do the show and I want to talk to you. But we can't let you act violent out here. Who's acting violent?
Who's acting violent?
Oh my God, Steve!
I think that was Ray Rice we were interviewing yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what do you think about that? Since we might as well.
Well, I think the whole thing is a joke. First of all, you think about the woman you love, and I've been with the same woman for 17 years and been married a long time, and I can't imagine anything in the world that would provoke me to punch her right in the face and knock her out.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, you watch that tape, and, he's just dragging her out of that elevator like a rag doll.
Right.
And not assisting any, like, if I did that to my own, she'd be, oh, my God, what did I do? You'd be calling 911 and, like, lifted her head and putting her head on your, in your lap or something. He dragged her out like a Barbie doll. And then I say, you watch that whole tape, even the security guy walks up and he doesn't do anything, and he's just standing there talking to Ray Rice. And then the fact that the NFL comes out yesterday and says, this is the first time we saw that tape. I would love to have them on my show and take lie detector tests.
I find that hard to
I don't
believe
that for a second.
Right,
No.
you don't believe that.
But
no.
you know what, Steve, and you deal with this on your show all the time. Why did she marry him? You deal with these women all the time. She married him after that.
Well, my biggest guess is that he's an NFL running back and he makes a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I also think that more than the fact that he makes a lot of money, he's an NFL guy, a person who's in an abusive relationship like that sometimes has a difficult time getting out of it because they're scared, they don't know what to do next.
Well,
so
she might not have anywhere to go.
Just as much
they
a part
have a
of it.
child together.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors that come in. But believe me, and this is just my opinion, I think money has a lot of influence on it.
Yes.
Oh, baby, it's never going to happen again. Kobe Bryant, he cheated on his wife, and he bought her a $2 million ring, and they're still together. So, I mean, if I cheat on my wife, I could buy a $10 million ring, and it'd be shoved right up you-know-what.
Yes.
All right, so Steve, now, of course, you were a bodyguard on the Jerry Springer show at one time.
Bouncer, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are all of those fights real?
When I was on, they were, and I'll tell you why. Because I suffered 2 major back operations, a concussion, a torn groin, and more cuts and scratches than you can ever imagine. So if I had to go through all that through some fake fight, I'd be a really mad guy. Mm-hmm. Now, Barry Diller, when he owned the show, he said, no more fighting, no more of this. Mm-hmm. So it really changed the show, where now basically it's like 2 chickens pecking at each other.
Yeah.
And, the fights can't be as hardcore as they used to be. So when you go back and if you watch those uncensored tapes from the late 90s, you watch those and tell me those fights were fight. I mean, people were getting knocked out, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Not a lot of talking on that show.
No.
A lot of screaming, but not a lot of talking.
Yeah.
But Steve, on your show, I mean, you handle these difficult topics, but you really try to come to some resolution, and you try to set an example for America too.
Well, and on my show, it's a more serious themed show, and we don't allow fighting. I don't allow people to hit each other,
right?
Because I mean, that's the message we try to spread: is that violence is never the answer. Physical violence is never the answer to any situation. So we do try to come to some resolution, and we've helped some people out of some difficult domestic situations, getting people off drugs. But, we also have had the shows where people come on, oh, yeah, Steve, I really want to get off drugs. And this, when you get called by a TV show and we're going to set you up in a pretty nice rehab facility and you check out the next day after one day, well, that's on you. We tried, and you're never going to get an opportunity like that again. And we've had those experiences.
Yeah. Steve, is there any guest that has touched you so deeply it really hurt?
You know what? It's because of my show, and I do a lot of charity events, And it's sometimes it's not the show itself, but it's people that watch the show and then tell me their stories. And the one that it absolutely crushed me. I was doing St. Baldrick's out in Sacramento, California, and we were doing shaving everybody's heads and stuff, raising money for cancer awareness. And this father came up to me and said, "Oh, I love your show. I love that what you do. You protect children." He goes, "Yeah, I lost my boy. He was 14 years old." And he goes, "I feel very, very lucky." And I said, "Why do you feel lucky?" He goes, "You know, I got to be there with him at the end, and I got to say goodbye to him." And I mean, I almost started bawling like a baby, like for him to say that. And, you know, I'm raising 2 small children, and he was so courageous and to come out and, like, you know, contribute his time after he lost his son, and the way he felt that he was lucky to say goodbye. It just, like, those are the stories. And because we do so many stories with children on my show and people watching, it's very impactful. And for people to open up and tell stories like that, it really strikes a chord with you.
Yeah.
Wow, I have chills.
Well, you've got the new season starting, and you're on the CW in the afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern, right?
I guess we're all over the place. So
yes, you're all over the place. Yes,
you just go in and do the
check your
show.
local listings.
Yes,
Check your local listings. Steve Wilkos Show. Steve, great talking to you. I hope you come back on sometime so we can talk a little bit more.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.